CRA plans to fill the pits several times over the course of the irrigation season. If the pilot project works, it's possible that similar projects could be conducted at other downstream gravel pits. Steve Short, Texas Public Radio News.
San Antonio's weather forecast: some patchy fog this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 82 degrees. Tonight will be cloudy with a low around 65. Thursday, expect cloudy skies with highs in the lower 80s. It's mostly cloudy right now and 65 degrees. That's Texas Public Radio News on KSTX. I'm Crystal Chavez. It's 8:35.
Well, right now it's blue red.
The beginning of baseball season has brought a fresh start for the Los Angeles Dodgers. After a season of bankruptcy and uncertainty, a new ownership group headed by former NBA great Magic Johnson.
Or red, white, and blue.
So we sent NPR's Ted Robbins to opening day at Dodger Stadium to gauge the mood among the Dodger faithful.
It was a sold-out game on a pure SoCal day.
It is beautiful. Blue sky, not a cloud there, nice little breeze. It's warm, Southern California.
Maury Wills was the Dodgers shortstop in 1962. Joined a bunch of his old teammates to celebrate Dodger Stadium's 50th anniversary. It's also the 50th anniversary of the Beach Boys, so they sang the national anthem after Surfer Girl. It was a very different mood at Dodger Stadium yesterday. After last year's opening day game, a fan wearing a San Francisco Giants jersey was beaten into a coma. This year, police were visible in uniform, in the parking lots on horseback, and undercover wearing the jerseys of yesterday's opposing team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lifelong fan Luis Granados appreciated the change.
It's a way to make somebody in
The security stepped up, feel safer. Everything's so nice.
That would be like me going to a San Antonio Spurs game and wearing a Lakers uniform.
Yeah.
The team's current owner, parking lot mogul Frank
But I
McCourt,
mean,
was
you know,
forced
the
by
thing
Major
is,
League
you know, you
Baseball
shouldn't
to
get into
sell.
a friggin'
The
fist
new
fight
owners
at a
include
sporting
former
event.
LA Laker basketball star
No,
Magic
that-
Johnson
huh?
and the
You think
investment
that?
firm
No, I
Guggenheim.
know.
People
There's
are
absolutely no
still
reason
paying
for
more
it. Well,
than
soccer's the
$1
word.
billion for the team. That's almost double
no
the
reason
former
for it.
record
Soccer
for
gets
American
statistical
sports
debt
franchise and way higher than any other bids. Former Dodger Maury Wills can't even fathom the price. Back in 1962, his salary was $30,000. He says he went to see then-owner Walter O'Malley after winning the National League MVP award that year.
Give me a raise.
No,
now.
I already
I
had
went
a
with the station wagon, and I came out in 10 minutes happy I was still on the team. I got a $10,000 raise.
Some experts question the wisdom of paying $2 billion for the Dodgers, but baseball analyst Willie Grossman says the team has potential.
If they get one more good starting pitcher, they can maybe compete in the division.
Okay, that'd be 12-year-old baseball analyst Willie Grossman. He thinks the sale will turn out well, largely because Magic Johnson is on board.
Well, I think him being who he is during the offseason, just him being the owner of the team can attract free agents. Because everybody knows who Magic Johnson is. Don!
Yeah, Willie was more interested in getting manager Don Mattingly's autograph than talking to us. But hey, no one else is talking about the deal until after the new owners take over at the end of April. It's been 24 years since the Dodgers have been in the World Series. Right fielder Andre Ethier says getting the team back to the playoffs will take care of whatever problems there are.
If we win, we're doing our job, and we're pretty sure, these fans, how they supported us in the past, will keep showing up and always keep coming back if we're winning, and winning's the cure for anything.
Ethier did his part. In the bottom of the eighth, he hit the game-winning home run. Ted Robbins, NPR News, Los Angeles.
This is NPR News.
It's 8:39. Checking San Antonio traffic. No major accidents to report on the major highways. It's going to be mostly cloudy today. Highs will be around 82 degrees. Tonight, expect cloudy skies. Lows in the mid-60s. Right now, it's mostly cloudy outside, and it's 65 degrees in San Antonio.
Was that We Will Rock You on violin?
Good morning. I'm Renee Montaigne.
And I'm Steve Inskeep. The World Bank is expected to announce its next
We're
president
blind
in
to
a few
that.
days. The top job at the Global Development Bank is normally held by an American. But the shifting balance in the global economy means that for the first time in its more than 60-year history, there is serious international competition for the post. NPR's Jackie Northam reports.
In the ever-changing world of international development, there is one constant. The head of the World Bank is a U.S. citizen. It's part of a long-held tacit agreement between the U.S. and the Europeans, which, based on their combined economies, make up the largest share of the vote. The U.S. backs Europe's choice to head the International Monetary Fund. In return, Europe supports America's choice for president of the World Bank. But Johannes Lynn, a former World Bank vice president, now at the Brookings Institution, says the balance of votes is shifting as emerging markets have gained economic strength.
And certainly the emerging markets economies have been pointing out that this is happening and that it's appropriate to begin to make these institutions less hidebound in terms of tradition, but actually open them up and make sure that everybody has a chance in terms of the best person leading these institutions.
So, instead of one unchallenged nominee, this time there are 3 contenders to head the World Bank. The Obama administration has nominated Jim Yong Kim, a physician who currently is the president of Dartmouth College. Much of Kim's career has centered on global health care. He co-founded Partners in Health, which works in developing countries. And he headed the HIV/AIDS department at the World Health Organization. During his Dartmouth inaugural address in 2009, Kim talked about the value of his hands-on experience.
Sounds nothing like Kim Jong-il.
To me is that delivering on ambitious social goals requires more than principled individual action. It requires building and implementing systems that can deliver sustainable solutions.
But there are questions whether Kim's expertise in global health is enough to lead a massive international financial organization like the World Bank, which lends billions of dollars every year to countries in need. Several dozen former World Bank officials sent a letter to the board of directors calling for a more open and inclusive process, one that's based on merit. And they threw their support behind Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a former Nigerian finance minister and World Bank executive. During an address earlier this week, Okonjo-Iweala talked about her vision for the World Bank in the 21st century, saying it needs to better embrace issues such as climate change, job creation, and education.
You know, the bank has been around 60 years. There's quite a bit of inertia. So you have to have the courage to say, look, certain things that we've always done this way, they have to go.
Jose Antonio Ocampo, the former finance minister and agricultural minister of Colombia, is also a contender.
I don't know if that
he says he has all the qualifications needed to lead the World Bank, but acknowledges a nagging concern that the outcome is a foregone conclusion, that the American candidate will win. Still, Ocampo says a corner has been turned.
Maybe we'll not succeed this time, but I think we are seeing the process of change. That if it doesn't happen this time, next time it will happen.
The Brookings Institution's lens says not opening the nomination to other nations could hurt the World Bank, which he says has already lost its predominance among international financial and development institutions.
All the time, yeah, if the World Bank is not seen as legitimate and run on the best principles of good governance, which, after all, the World Bank and others are preaching to developing countries, then I think there will be a problem of continued effective and relevant work by the
Are they money savvy?
Already, some of the emerging countries are setting up their own regional development banks. Jackie Northam, NPR News, Washington.
Let's turn to another voice that wants to be heard. Something like 20 million people in the United States are practicing some form of yoga. From the very formalized Iyengar and Ashtanga forms to the much less formal yoga butt. But some Hindus want recognition that yoga is more than exercise, that it is part of a larger philosophy, one with deep Hindu roots. Here's Margot Adler reports.
The forms of yoga go back centuries, even here in this young country, the United States. The transcendentalists were yoga. New York Times science reporter William Rodd, who just wrote The Science of Yoga, has been a practitioner since 1970. He says it's an antidote for our chaotic world.
You see a wild correlation between yoga studios and the most structural places on the planet. Lower Manhattan, or areas of Los Angeles, where the traffic
like you just want your road rage is like out there, right? Ding, 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 ding. One yoga studio after another.
People go into yoga for all kinds of reasons. Health, fitness, spirituality, energy, creativity.
It's because yoga works. Yoga works to unplug, to relax, to help tense urbanites deal with that tension.
But some Hindus have been taken aback seeing much yoga practice in the United States emphasizing only the physical. Sheetal Shah is one of the leaders of the Hindu-American Foundation's campaign, Take Back Yoga. It all started, she says, when they noticed the word Hindu was never mentioned in yoga magazines. You saw Vedic, Tantric, all kinds of other words except Hindu. So they called up one of the most popular magazines and asked why.
And they said, well, the word Hinduism has a lot of baggage. And so we were like, excuse me?
Shah says she understands why some people have a problem. When people think of yoga, they think of something pure and serene. When they think of Hinduism, she says, they think
multiple gods with multiple heads and multiple arms and colorful, ritualistic. It seems like, how do these two things fit together?
She says the Take Back Yoga campaign wants to acknowledge the Hindu philosophical roots of yoga, while at the same time emphasizing that yoga is universal and appropriate for everyone.
What we're trying to say is that the holistic practice of yoga goes beyond just a couple of asanas on a mat. It's a lifestyle, and it's a philosophy. How do you lead your life in terms of truthfulness and nonviolence and purity? The lifestyle aspect of yoga, I think, has been lost.
Now, there's all kinds of scholarly debate about yoga's origins. Certainly, it goes back to a time before the name Hindu was used to describe a spiritual tradition based on the Vedas. Although Shah would argue Vedic, Hindu, it's all the same thing. But science reporter William Broad says yoga was really reinvented in the 1920s and 30s. Some of the tantric and sexual aspects were taken out and more health and exercise put in. It was kind of cleaned up.
There is no yoga. Reformation? There are hundreds and thousands of things that are labeled yoga.
He remembers practicing laughter yoga in Bombay and having a great time.
But in truth, there is nothing yogic about laughter yoga.
Allison West has been teaching yoga since the 1980s. West says it's important that yoga be accessible to Jews, Christians, atheists, people who have no affinity with Hindu spiritual traditions, but who use it for personal satisfaction, even emotional and mental awakening. The choice of yoga is to be accessible to all. It's very important to not overstress the Hindu origins of yoga, but at the same time, nobody should dismiss the fact that Hinduism has played in the evolution of yoga over the centuries.
Barbara, the lady I work with, she goes to the yoga sessions in the gym about 3 times a week. You're allowed 3 hours.
What is that understanding, I ask? Every thought, every action has a ramification. That there is this moral responsibility to what you do. Sheetal Shah argues the campaign is working because it has brought about this discussion. Many practitioners would argue they are going far beyond a few poses and breaths. Judy Capular says she's amazed at how the practice she does has led to emotional stability, happiness, and a deepening of human kindness. And I still am amazed that this practice of moving your weight on your feet, bring your thighs over and over and over, practice it over and over, think it, teach it.
One of those,
and preach it. Margot Adler, NPR News.
Back there.
Yeah. Okay.
You're listening to Morning Edition from NPR News.
We're right at Target.
Santorum calls it quits. Even Newt says Mitt's going to win, but the former speaker
the whole
will
hour
press
walking
on
around
regardless. The president
but
pushes the
never
Buffett
doing
rule, and
anything.
Illinois Republican
Just
Tim
psyching
Johnson
yourself up.
wins his
Like,
congressional
I
primary,
gotta go.
then promptly retires. I'm Neil Conan, political junkie Ken Rudin on Romney's next challenge. Next Talk of the Nation from NPR News.
And Talk of the Nation starts at 1 p.m. here on KSTX News and Views at 89.1 FM.
Support for KSTX comes from Health Check Software, helping physicians qualify for stimulus funds while improving patient care through certified electronic health record technology. Their number is 210-545-1010. Support for KSTX comes from Fresh Horizons Creative Catering, offering turnkey corporate
I'm not a coffee person.
as well as hot and cold lunch deliveries and box lunches. Details at 226-5919.
Into the causes of autism.
not a coffee person.
Mostly cloudy in San Antonio today. Highs will be around 82 degrees. Tonight will be cloudy with a low around 65. Thursday, expect cloudy skies with highs near 81. And Thursday night will be cloudy with a low around 67. It's mostly cloudy right now.
Yeah, I remember they used to have all lunch.
We stopped selling them. 8:51. San Antonio traffic. Roadways look pretty clear.
We're down to one, so we're going to sell it. No, I was thinking of smaller trailers that would be good behind the scenes. Maybe something about 8 foot or 10 foot long would be plenty. 8 feet probably. About 10 feet.
Gauging the economic effects of a natural disaster after some big earthquakes this morning near Indonesia.
Marketplace Morning Report is produced in association with the University of Southern California.
From 8 p.m., American Public Media in Los Angeles. Good morning. I'm Jeremy Hobson with The Morning Open. A look at business and the economy as Wall Street starts the day. Coming up, the governor of Iowa has some beef with the people smearing so-called pink slime. But first, where's Wall Street? Stocks are up at the open this morning. The Dow up 109 points, about 9% at 12,025. The Nasdaq up 9%. S&P 500 up 1% right now. There were several massive earthquakes.
What I'm thinking is, I wanted to go to Home Depot and get stuff, you know, like lumber.
No serious damage has been reported so far.
You can just lay it down.
There with Josh Brown of Fusion Analytics.
One of the very
With us live, as always, from New York. Hi, Josh.
Yeah.
Doing well. So when there's a natural disaster like this, and this one
And then
looks
also,
like
if
it
you're
may not
gonna
be so bad, but what is an investor
take a
to do?
trip
Because
and carry
obviously we
a
just
bunch
had
of
the
stuff.
tsunami in Japan a year ago, the floods in Thailand, and there were some big economic effects.
Yeah, I think if you look at Fukushima and the lingering effects of that,
Find a hotel 20 miles out.
when pros hear that there was a natural disaster, the first thing they'll try to figure out is what kind of tools they have, especially if there's any kind of necessary shock into it. So I think in this case, though, we probably won't see much more of that, even though it's still something that people want to keep in mind.
Well, it seems like the markets are watching
Europe. Coney would be really cool.
What is going on?
I don't know if you remember when we drove through that one time when we lived in Japan.
Time that right, you can go to Laconia right afterwards.
Well, if you rode up to Coney,
There are a lot more
obviously if
there's
you're
a lot
in the
more liquidity
vicinity,
in the
you might
system,
as well
but we saw Italian
take the extra day and drive
Spanish
up.
volumes above 5%, and that's always vexing. So I think the market is not so much focused on it, but it is now reacting to some extent, which it hasn't for a while, and that's a new development.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. It's really pretty up here on the White Mountains. Perfect place to ride
Analytics, thanks as always.
Actually, New England is a good place to ride motorcycles. There's lots of hills and twists and turns.
Longer school day. That would make Chicago an outlier because
I always wish I'd
money, which most districts don't have at the moment.
had my Yamaha.
Chicago children go to school about 6 hours a day, far less than kids in other major cities. Mayor Emanuel plans to stretch that by at least an hour, despite cries that the city can't afford it. Jennifer Davis heads the National Center on Time and Planning. She says lots of schools, especially charters, have figured out how to teach kids longer on less money, with technology or creative scheduling. Some struggling school districts have extended the school day several hours. The trade-off being the school week goes down to 4 days. Dan Dominich heads the American Association of School Administrators. He says that's not great either.
8 hours or longer. There's a fatigue factor that comes into play, both on the part of children and the teachers.
Dominich says it'll take years just to return money to school coffers and extend school days back to pre-recession levels. I'm Eve Tro for Marketplace.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Allianz, insuring more than 80 million customers worldwide and providing retirement solutions through its affiliated companies in the U.S. AllianzUSA.com. Marketplace's coverage of wealth and poverty issues is supported by the Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social.
You remember the news article about a month ago because they got ran over by the train tagging? Yeah. I feel real bad for the parents.
You think he might be alive today if he hadn't tagged that train?
Better chance of it.
We will never
stop.
That's right. Give it to me. Nebraska, when we had the big meeting out there with the BPI.
Little from column A, little from column B. Do they leave the graffiti on the trains after they get to where they need to be, or do they wash it off with some chemicals?
Dude, it's not really worth the hassle of washing it off. About once a year, Dennis, the train companies, the railroads, the cars will go in for maintenance, you know, and they'll fix the wheels and the bearings and oil them up, and that's when they clean them off. So they only get maintenance about once a year.
The trains are pretty damn hard. What? Trains are pretty damn hard. It's just a giant chunk of steel. Yeah.
It's not true. It's a smear campaign.
Playground's a little bit premature. If you go up the side and
what we can do is just bring the car up to the doors.
Yeah. How do you respond to that? Well, that's what happens when you confront people with the facts. They tend to attack the people that are delivering the message. I, as governor, certainly am going to fight for jobs in my state. And I believe in agriculture, and I believe in the beef industry. We are fighting back with the truth and with scientific evidence, and the only thing they'll do is personally attack and use smear tactics. That tells you a lot about the